So in conclusion, I just want to go over the mixing of this real quick because every time I make a beat or every time I'm in the studio, I need to leave with a rough mix. Just so I can remember what I did, even if it's on like my email or something, or I can listen on my phone. I don't want to have to be in my studio to like play a beat back. And also, you just build a collection over the years. It's like if someone comes in, you don't want to necessarily be spending 10 minutes pulling up the session. Your beat from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Plugins don't work anymore or whatever. It's easier to just play back the file, and then if you're actually going to do something with the track, then you go back and figure out all the compatibility and make sure it's all opening up and everything. But anyway, real quick, wanted to give a shout out to my friends over at Izotope because I'm loving this new plugin they've got, Neutron.
Yeah.
And I use it on my mixes all the time, and it's great for just like quickly getting everything like sounding good. A lot of people knock on it and say it's like auto mixing, but I mean, the thing is, like, I'm a mixer, and there's this doesn't do my mixes for me. It's nothing like that at all. It's just, for me, it's kind of like a starting point. It's like a preset. It's like a built-in, or it's like a custom designed preset.
There's definitely a lot of like mantra about it being like an auto mix thing, but guys, I always feel like no matter what, a tool is just a tool, no matter how you use it.
It's all part of the process. Figure we pop back up on the video here, end of the night.
We're still with you guys.
We are still with you guys.
4 slices of pizza later.
Oh yeah. All right. That was enough of that. We're going back to the track now. So I'm gonna pull up Neutron, and basically what I do with Neutron, one of my favorite features is the masking feature. So right here we've got our really heavy kick that we designed, and we got a really heavy bass, and I want to make sure that those aren't masking each other, so they're both hitting at like maximum hardness. So this is like, maximum hard, son, hard.
Yes.
So let me show you how that's done. Okay, so that's what it came up with for the kick. Let's just hear that kick soloed. Yeah, it's cool, but I think it's compressing it a little too hard, so I'm actually going to back off in the compressor. And this is what I love about this thing. It custom designs a preset for you, and then you can mix it in wet, dry, or whatever. It's definitely a lot cleaner. Okay, so we're gonna throw the Neutron onto the sub bass. So many plugins.
So little time.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here's the sub bass. that just feels thicker.
Yeah.
It's great. So now I turn on the masking, and then I click on this, and this percussive, this links it to my kick, right? Because this is the percussive preset, and this shows you the EQ of the kick. See, it's the same exact curve, and you can actually do an inverse link, so it can like boost and gain.
Wow.
You know, and it affects my kick EQ as well. Now I totally screwed this all up. Actually, kind of got to start over. We'll go back to the kick here and just hit learn one more time. So Neutron's identified a frequency overlap here on our super subs. So usually what I do when I have something like this is I'll just like filter either the kick or the bass. I guess I'll do the kick, and then I'll boost to compensate. Too much delay for the computer to handle, so I'm actually going to freeze this track. If I can remember how to show it here. What is it? Configure track header. I'll throw my freeze things on. I can't freeze it. Alright, so basically I have my kick and my snare. I'm going to do what I did before and like bounce these in as separate audio files. And actually before I do that, what I'm going to save this as an alternate, so I can always go back to this other version here with my MIDI, and this will just like, basically there's too much delay because I have all these plugins. I don't even know, that's a lot of plugins right there.
Yeah,
so I'm going to bounce these into audio, and the UAD is processed on its own card instead of on the actual computer. So there's actually latency that's introduced when it goes back and forth from the computer into the card and back. And that's that API channel strip. And this is like one of my favorite plugins for drums. I'm not even really doing any processing with it except for running it through the pre, which is, this is when I'm recording an actual drum set. I love this preamp. It's like really punchy and present.
Wow. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Alright, so now we've got our alternate. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to mute all the hi-hats just on the MIDI. And I'm going to bounce this out. This is going to be crate digger clap. And look how long that's taking to bounce, even offline.
Yeah. Yeah, I need trying to plug in something else though.
Okay, another little trick too is you don't want to slam your stereo output because that's how you're going to get distortion on your track. So you can just drag everything down. You select all the faders and bring them all down, and then your levels won't be hitting up here in the red. So guys, right now I'm mixing on my small speakers with the volume really low so I can hear how this is like really going to sound. And I mean, when I'm mixing or doing anything in the studio really for, you know, any number of hours, I can't be cranking it at loud volumes because you get ear fatigue after like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So if I'm in here for 12 to 16 hours, which I usually am, you know, I'm not going to last. So you got to listen at low volumes, and it's actually better. It's easier to hear the balances at like super low volumes. And right now I'm on small speakers with no subwoofer, so I can really tell what the bass is doing. So right now I'm going to limit the bass so it actually cuts through a little more evenly. neutron this bass piano to the sub bass and the kick, so that doesn't blend or mask with those frequencies either. Trick I just learned off YouTube. It's honestly, I mean, when I'm stuck, I just Google it. It's this delay time calculator, right? So we can go, our delay, or our BPM is 75.3. So we punch that in, and then it shows, so one measure is 3187. Trying to find a good reverb for this piano here. So let's try a quarter note, which is 796.81. So we'll call that 797. And we'll make that our decay time. And then this Fab Filter reverb is dope because this up here is a decay rate percentage EQ, I guess, because this is like frequencies to the left and right, and the up and down is the decay time. So what I do is we have a quarter note, but I'll make the lower mids like 200%, say. Doesn't even matter. I'll make them 200%. So this will be a half note in like the lower mids, like around 286. Can even make this Q a little more narrow here. So just these areas will be a longer reverb. Let's hear that. And this also has a built-in EQ cut, so I can actually make, this is how you adjust the tonality of the reverb. So if I want a brighter reverb, I can go like this. Character knob and brightness knob over here. Yeah, the character knob gives it kind of a chorusy kind of thing, and then we've got a stereo width. We'll just crank that just because. It already makes our piano like much more haunting and like full sounding. Now my preferred EQ is the Fab Filter. I just love their stuff, man. They make some great stuff. I don't have any endorsements. I paid full price for this stuff just because it's worth it, every penny. Anyway, so I use this a lot for like cutting like frequencies on stuff. So I'm hearing like a little harsh frequency now that we've kind of, you know, compressed the piano a little bit. So I'm trying to like get rid of some of that. So what I do is I'll turn the frequency up and then I turn the Q way up so it's super narrow, and then you can use this little headphone thing here. It'll actually solo that frequency, and now I'll use that to sweep. And it helps that visually this plugin will show you what frequencies are coming in. And that kind of helps you see where your peaks are. But honestly, I'm using my ears mostly for just stuff that's poking out.
Yeah.
Also, this is where musicality helps. You want to not cut heavily on a frequency that happens to be the root note.
Yeah, the fundamental.
The fundamental frequency. And Fab Filter actually has a little keyboard here that'll show you what note your frequency is around. So I'm around a G5, which, you know, this is a C minor chord, so there is a G in it, but it's not the fundamental frequency, which would be the C note. So that's kind of helpful. And you can hear what I do when anytime I'm doing an EQ move, I'll take it in and out so I can hear what it's doing and make sure I like it before I commit. It's kind of weird, actually. It sounds like duller with it off.
Yeah.
So the cut actually makes it brighter, which is really strange, I think.
Yeah.
But that's like that masking effect.
Yeah, it's just something I believe that, you know.
So yeah, so then after I do a cut, then I'll use like a character EQ, which there's a bunch of them. You can use like your Pultex. That Shep 73 is really good, but I've already used that, so I like to change up and use different EQs. I was actually thinking the RS 56 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
by Waves. But now that I think about it, I actually have a lot of waves on this already, so I'm going to use another Sound Toys plugin because I don't have too many of those. I like to use different plugins from different manufacturers, so we don't get like a similar DSP sound mixing your whole record.
Yeah.
That's plus, this has a little drive knob in it, which is cool too. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty decent. I mean it's a pretty simple mix. We only have a few tracks. We got the drums and I don't know. I mean this is like a start basically. We got to do more of the track. I'm just trying to get out of here. It's night, so we'll probably come back to this one another time. But as far as like mastering, I would throw a quick master on it too. Now when I'm mixing hip hop, I don't usually use a mix bus compressor. I'll just kind of keep it minimal, like mostly EQs and like tape.
Yeah.
So, so we can actually start with my Fab Filter preset. This is, I EQ matched my GML 8200 with the setting I always use on there, and I put this natural phase setting on the Fab Filter, which gives it a more analog sound. So it's a pretty great setting. All right, so we're gonna bounce this bad boy down.
Bounce that motherfucker.
What is it? 75.3
It was 75.
BPM.
Yeah, 75.3.
Oh my!
It looks like I could have been like.
So that we could have been doing anything. You never know.
Doing anything.
Anything at all. So that's pretty much a wrap on the session. We're just bouncing it down for now, and we'll check it out again tomorrow and see how we like it and take it from there.
As always, it's good to reference. Always we started with references, and it's always good to end with them as well. After a while, you kind of get set off in your own vibe, but it's always good to go back to where you initially started to see if you really caught the intent of the production, and give thanks to Cooper Anderson for being so super awesome and showing
Any
us
questions,
his work.
guys? Email us. We're here to help. Tweet us, Instagram us, whatever.
Yeah,
we're out there.
We're out there. Thank you.